You've never played Mortal Kombat or Mega Man.
I have played Mega Man. I just don't remember which one, and I don't remember.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite man?
The blue one.
The Mega Man.
All I
Blue
remember,
one.
Seriously, all I remember is there's a blue Mega Man and a red dog. That's all I remember.
Rush. That's
Oh my
I
God!
don't,
See,
I don't remember anything else.
Hello and welcome to episode number 67 of the Frozen North Gaming Podcast. My name is JG and I'm here with I was going to say my one friend, but that just sounds really bad for me.
Yeah, that's one of those
I'm here with my friend.
Yeah.
My one of many. I'm not going to defend this anymore.
Yeah, we're down that road.
I'm here with Brian. Yes.
Yeah, hey, hi guys, it's Brian. And actually, Marc is here. We don't want to introduce him today because, reasons. And Marc, if you've always agreed with everything I've ever said, don't say a word this whole episode. Okay? We'll see.
All right. Well, so far so good.
So far so good.
Obviously, he agrees.
So I think by the end of the episode, we'll know if he doesn't say a word throughout the entire episode, then he just reveres my word as like gospel, basically.
He has a side quest though, so he will be saying
something. You know what?
So outside of the side quest,
okay, Marc. Outside of your side quest, you have to do. If you don't say anything the entire podcast, then you'll have affirmed that every opinion I hold is right. Thanks. He's looking at me with eyes right now, like he's mad, but he knows that I'm right, so he can't say anything.
Exactly. I mean, that's the way the truth works. So no, absolutely. Episode 67. Marc is gone. He is actually on vacation for a few days. Lucky guy.
Yeah, he's in Vegas winning me money.
We know he's not playing games.
No,
am I right?
Well, well, he's playing gambling games. Does that count?
That's true.
And that's the kind of game he likes. You know, the kind of games where there's really nothing but mindless activity.
I wonder if they have a gambling game where it's like dependent on how well you can direct traffic.
Oh,
because he'd be an ace.
They're like, we've got a really dangerous hairpin turn and traffic's getting bogged down. Can you do something about it or win money?
What do you do? He could make a career out of that. Would. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I know what you've been playing. You know what I've been playing.
Absolutely.
Because we spent like 12 hours yesterday playing.
Oh man, it flew by too. I was like, oh crap, it's already time to go. I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh, Brian and I have been playing Final Fantasy 14. We got back into it last week. It's pretty much when we started playing again. And man, there's so much content. Like, I haven't even gotten to the expansion yet, and I've been spending like all week just trying to get there. Yep. Because there's so much to do and so much to catch up on.
I put all my other games on basically hold because I want to get I want to get to the point where I was. Now, obviously, I'm not going to be raid leading and doing what I did in WoW, which took up several nights of my week. It's going to be more of a casual endeavor, but it's such a good game right now that it's taken up all my I put all my other games on. I still have to Witcher 3 to beat, which I'm at the very end. I'm just doing side quests. So,
right.
But I put everything on shelved it because I'm having so much fun. The story's great. All the old content is still lively. They took what WoW does and then they made it better. So it's like, hey, this good formula of like old content, here's how we're going to do it, make it better. And it's been a blast. I have not been playing anything else, but I was going to play Mega Man X8 because I was on that kick. Yeah. I just couldn't pull myself away from 14.
We even got our old bro gamer buddy Brandon to play it a little bit, and we thought he was going to hate it, but he actually enjoyed what he played.
I think if he gets to 20, I'm going to try to convince him to sub up because it's his kind of game where you don't have to listen to the story if you don't want to. And there's so much content to do. Like there's so much that if you don't want to do that, you do this. If you don't want to do this, you do that.
Yep. There were four of us. We were all over at your brother's place. And his new place is phenomenal for gaming. It's like
it's a really cool loft. Yeah,
man, it's cool. But Kyle, your brother, and I were pretty much doing like level 50 stuff.
Yeah,
that we were kind of trying to play catch up on, and just doing these boss fights and everything like that.
Man.
You guys were watching us, and
I don't know if it was like the because he's got one of his rooms. It's kind of like a theater basically. He's got a big projector on a wall. and he's got like a good sound system, and you guys were fighting a boss, and there's like all the explosions were going off, and there was rumbling, and you're just like, I don't remember and the music in Final Fantasy 14. Holy moly!
Yeah.
During the boss fight, you're just like getting chills, going, man, this music is epic.
It gets you moving.
You feel epic. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'm falling in love with the game. I mean, I already really, really loved it, but there's just so much to do. And I mean, like I told you before, I haven't even gotten to the expansion yet. And I'm doing so much.
And what, you just fought Gilgamesh and all these cameos. You unlocked Koila Bahamut.
Yep.
And so it's like, and plus the added aspect of playing with friends is also a big boost. Like,
absolutely.
Being like, hey, let's just queue up for this and go play and have fun and solo Titan when our tank jumps off the cliff.
Yeah, I think one of the things I really, really like about it, I mean, say what you want about WoW. WoW is a great game. It really is. And this certainly models itself off of WoW, like, mostly.
It takes its pillars. The successful WoW pillars, it adopts, and then, what's the word I'm looking for? It takes the successful pillars of WoW and expands upon them, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. And it, I mean, we are just enjoying everything it has to offer. People say... WoW, you play WoW and people will always tell you, at least that what I've heard, the game doesn't even start until you hit max level,
and which is true.
Which is true. I mean, you're leveling up and you're doing quests and stuff all the way to 80. So I guess that's content,
right?
But it's not 80.
The closing cutscenes to Final Fantasy 14. I was watching Kyle do that. It's like playing a Final Fantasy. You literally are playing a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah,
within a MMO world, that's why I wanted to play it. I was like, I am going to go on. I am still on my Final Fantasy journey, technically, even though I started it 2 years ago. I'm still on it, and 14 has a good story. In the Heaven's Ward, I read about that, also a good story. So yeah,
I think, and that's kind of the big thing is like, yes, the game doesn't start in WoW till the end. But 14, literally, you're doing everything from day one. I mean, obviously, you have to get better gear and stuff to do certain things and unlock certain things.
Right.
But it just seems like there is a point to doing everything. Going back and doing older stuff, there's a point to do that.
Right.
Like, there's reasons to help your friends unlock this other stuff. There's reasons to go back and do the older content. It's just very, very well done.
It's good. It's so far. It's phenomenal. And I'm only level 42, so I haven't even hit, the swath of content after that.
Yeah. Yep. But enough gushing about that. Have you played anything else?
I beat Final Fantasy, I beat Mega Man X7 last week, and I've been, like I said, dabbling a little bit of Witcher. Kind of stalling on the Witcher 3. I want to beat that right as Batman, which will be coming back out for the PC soon. So that's about it.
I've been playing Rocket League a little bit.
I played a match with you. Yep.
Man, that game is fun.
It's just it's mindless. It's a party game. It's a
absolutely
come over and play and have fun and scream when something cool happens. It's simple.
Yep. If you're PlayStation Plus, I believe it's still free till the end of July, right? So yeah, check that out for sure.
Yep.
And a little bit of Silent Hill 2. Still going on that. I mean, it's from what I understand, it's not a very long game, but I've just been so into 14.
Yeah, that's kind of how it was with me.
Put
it on. I figure I'll put all my games can be on the back burner for a month or two while I get to the point in Final Fantasy 14 where I don't need to play huge swaths. I can just get on, do a quick, dungeon or something, and then jump off and play something else.
Definitely. So if you're on the Leviathan server or you want to make a guy there,
Leviathan.
We'll we got a pretty good guild. Got a house and stuff,
and we're friends.
On there.
We're friends.
It's a good time.
Yeah,
we have a good time with it. If you would like to email us, our email address is frozennorthpodcast@gmail.com. Our website is fngaming.net. I should have all this stuff memorized, but I still read it off the screen every single time. Our Facebook is facebook.com/thefrozennorth. Our Twitter is @fnpodcast. Our blog is frozennorthpodcast.blogspot.com. We are on iTunes, where we would appreciate you going there and rating us and subscribing to us.
Subscribe alike.
Absolutely. There's actually one other thing I wanted to just mention real quick as well. We talked about Nova Star Gaming a few episodes back, the other gaming center that we recently got to go hang out with them in out here in Kansas City, and they are doing a Super Smash Brothers tournament. It looks like it is on August 2nd. So if you're in the area and you play Smash Brothers, which
go
I know
sign
too many
up.
people that like Nintendo that don't, because Smash Brothers is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely go check out the tournament. Looks like it's a $10 entry fee, And if you want to hear more about it, they've got it. I posted the link on our Facebook page as well as their Facebook page. Obviously, it's on there. Theirs is facebook.com/NovaStarGaming. So go check them out and hope to see you there.
And enjoy. Yeah.
All right. We got any news this week?
Two things. Guys, Gamescom's coming out next week. News is going to be extremely scarce. You guys all probably know that if you're a gaming website peruser like I am. But I want to talk about a few things that are pretty exciting, at least that I thought were exciting. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go check out the Fallout collection that's coming out. It's an anthology collection. First of all, it comes in a mini nuke can that actually makes the sounds. So you unscrew the top and it'll actually make like the sound and mini nuke sounds. Yeah. Comes with all of the Fallout property up to New Vegas. Really, really cool little collector's item. Let me see here. It's going to be $50, which
I think it's worth it for all those games.
For all that. Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, there's 3 other games that are extremely old. So,
still, I would still say Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas together alone.
Absolutely. And it's the Fat Man mini nuke. Just is a really cool like shelf item to what's that? Unscrew it and you see all the little display discs in there. It's really cool looking. Expect it in North America on September 29th, guys. And then following that in Australia on October 1st. And then in Europe, in the EU, on October 2nd. So I have all the Fallout games, but this is cool enough and affordable enough that I've actually been kind of like making that like, should I get this? It's a collector's item, but since I already have all the games, it's made my decision a little harder to.
Is it PC only?
Yes, yeah, it's a PC only type situation.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yes, sir. That's the Batman. So people who are PC users, we talked about it a while back. Batman was broken on the PC, badly broken. So if you are like me, who are clamoring to play that game, it will be coming out on PC in August. They haven't announced an exact day, but looks like it's getting closer to being the patching is getting closer to being completed. Hopefully, it addresses the situation. I know I'm ready to play it, as I know a lot of you are that own PCs. But
if they addressed everything that was wrong with it and it comes out in August, that's honestly a pretty good turnaround.
It is. It's still unacceptable that they would release a game like that, but that's showing that they basically pulled all the resources and said, okay, we got to fix this.
Right. I would rather them fix it than them being like, oh, well, we'll try better next time.
Like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm glad you bought it, but, we'll never know. But I wonder if Steam refunds had something to do with their very, very quick turnaround on this. I know they got hit hard when that game dropped.
Not surprising.
And which it's good. It's power to the buyers. You buy something that's not done. Shouldn't be allowed to make money off of that.
Yeah,
because you're rendering a service and it's an incomplete service, so you shouldn't be paid. So I'm glad, I'm excited. I hope it comes out earlier rather than later in August. But either way, as long as as long as it runs well, as long as it becomes a good port, I'll be happy.
Definitely. Cool.
Yep, that's it for news. Hopefully, news will pick up after Gamescom. I know we'll have some news probably within Gamescom coming out in the next week. So stay tuned for more news.
All right. We got a side quest from Marc. Of all people.
Yeah. Wait, who?
Yeah, he's this guy who helps out sometimes. He's not really a gamer.
Marc. I'm not. Hold on.
Well, we don't know him that well because he's not really a gamer.
Yeah, that's right.
So, yeah, he's the guy with the glasses. Marc is, with him being gone this week, he did want to still contribute something.
Right.
So, we haven't done spotlights in a long time.
Right.
If you remember, we used to do, if you have been listening to us for a while, what we used to do is we would go to Kickstarter and find a game or something gaming related that we thought looked cool enough to be like, hey, you should go check this out. And if we got the opportunity, we would try to get like a written interview with them and post it on our blog and that kind of stuff.
Right.
And Marc, for the most part, handled most of those. And because of that, he thought it'd be cool to kind of do some updates on the ones that he had gone over. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and turn it over. Marc, take it away, sir.
Howdy, y'all. It's me, Marc. Way back in episode 13, we discussed Kickstarter and how it impacts the world of gaming. Do we risk our own money on a gamble that a newcomer or veteran game designer can create a great game for us? It's been a year and a half since episode 13. Many feel-good stories have emerged from the promise of crowdfunding. In Exile Entertainment's Wasteland 2 and Obsidian Entertainment's Project Eternity both came out and earned very positive reviews, fulfilling gamers' yearning for the classic WRPGs of the 90s. Uber Entertainment's Planetary Annihilation release satisfying the desire for massive, strategic RPGs with wars the size of solar systems. The dream of virtual reality was resurrected thanks to Kickstarter and Oculus Rift. So far, so good. But then Oculus Rift was bought by Facebook. What did it mean? Were our donations merely R&D seed money to attract a larger investor? Then Uber Entertainment asked us to donate to a new game, while Planetary Annihilation still lacked many promised features. Suddenly the world of crowdfunding had soured. But this was a moment we knew would come. The fairy tale had to end. Even so, in 2015 we've seen another Shadowrun project, the spiritual successor to Castlevania, and Banjo-Kazooie, a new Bard's Tale and Shenmue 2, all get funded. Many of these projects earning more than 10 times what they asked for. A year ago, we ran the last of a series of spotlight segments in which I introduced several crowdfunded projects, all of which ultimately reached their goals. Elysian Shadows, Technolust, Long Night, Stasis, Reset, and Celestian Tales. So to contribute to the narrative of crowdfunding, I figured it was time to give a status update on these projects. The lovely song you've been listening to thus far is titled Castle Above the Hill from Celestian Tales. Equator Games' Celestian Tales was touted as, quote, a refreshing take on role-playing games featuring moral-driven storylines, 6 points of view, multiple personal arcs, and beautiful hand-drawn art, end quote. The art style falls somewhere in between the bright, highly detailed pixel art of Suikoden and the picture book-esque style of Banner Saga. The game promises a deep story spanning 3 decades and multiple perspectives, exploring political intrigue and moral dilemmas. Best of all, the game is expected to launch mere weeks from now, in August. The first game we ever covered on the Frozen North Spotlight segment was the Brotherhood's dark sci-fi adventure game Stasis, an isometric horror game taking cues from Alien, Event Horizon, and Sunshine. The one-man studio managed to impress gamers enough to achieve all stretch goals, ultimately bringing on Marc Morgan of Fallout and Planescape Torment fame to compose the music for Stasis. Recently, the game's creator joked to IGN that due to frequent power outages plaguing South Africa, Stasis may be the first game designed on generator power. For those itching to explore the derelict spaceship Groom Lake, we may have our hands on it by the end of August. Another promising horror game, Long Night, from French studio Tricksterface, has not been so lucky. It succeeded in getting funded on Kickstarter, and we even got a taste of the psychological horror game after Tricksterface broke it up into an episodic release format with the hopes of saving their budget. Unfortunately, as they detail in a recent Kickstarter update, one of their financial backers fell through. The first episode did not sell as well as they had hoped, the progress towards a console release was going slow, and eventually the remaining budget was used to cover taxes and other costs. The unfortunate demise of Long Night is a reminder that game design is difficult and expensive, and even when everyone works hard with the best intentions, the gamble doesn't always work out. Theory Interactive sought funding for their game, Reset, on Indiegogo, because Kickstarter was not directly available in Finland. 2 former employees from graphics benchmarking company FutureMark have designed a beautiful custom engine to power their time-bending sci-fi puzzle game. In April, they released a beta demo to backers, and plan to hit Steam Greenlight very soon. They plan to reveal their final release schedule at that time. If you've ever wondered what really goes on behind the scenes at an indie game studio, you'll want to check out the Elysian Shadows team. Since starting work on the game, they have produced 30 episodes of their YouTube series, Adventures in Game Development. Alongside their ambitious retro-modern RPG, which at times conjures comparisons to Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy, they are also designing a powerful engine and toolkit for other aspiring game designers to harness. There is no release date set, but the Elysian Shadows team is hard at work on the game. Finally, for those excited about the future of virtual reality, Iris VR has Technolust. Fittingly, the VR adventure game is set in a cyberpunk future dominated by corporations. Iris VR is working with quantum capture to photoscan actors into their virtual world. The highly realistic NPCs, neon-soaked environments, and 3D positional audio were impressive enough to land them a bronze at Mobile VR Game Jam, netting them a $10,000 prize. Iris VR haven't said when the game is coming out yet, but if you own an Oculus DK2, the Game Jam tech demo is available for download, and they are making steady progress on the game. And so there you have it. 6 projects all playable in some form. 1 met an unfortunate demise, 2 are nearing release, and many of the others are showing up at trade shows and Steam Greenlight. Crowdfunding isn't perfect, but it has allowed us average gamers to promote diversity and opportunity in an industry long dominated by big corporate publishing houses. So keep on pledging.
And we're back. Thank you, Mark. That was fantastic.
That was actually a really good side quest.
Mark has always impressed me with his ability to read words off of a page. And I don't mean that like I know we joke about that all the time, but he legitimately is a phenomenal writer, obviously.
Right. Yeah. Mark and I, we talked, I don't know if we've ever said this on the show, but Mark and I are almost complete opposites. I can go off the cuff and improv really well. I can think quick and not stumble over words, but I can't write. My writing is very subpar, as I was described. Mark is a very talented writer, but if you make him like, if you startle him and you put him on the spot, it's so funny because he gets nervous about it. He's like, "Don't put me on the spot. No,
Yeah, but if you give him a chance to prepare,
exactly.
Watch out.
Yep, Mark Absolutely. Is a preparer.
There were 2 things I wanted to address, though.
Yeah.
And I totally understand why he did it this way. But I did bring it to his attention, and he was like, "Oh crap, I'm sorry," But I completely understand why. When we first started doing the spotlights, Mark actually. He did most of them, as you can tell.
Yep.
There were 2 that I had actually done, and he forgot to include those.
Right.
Our first spotlight that we ever did, and I did the first one just to be like, "Hey, Mark, this is kind of what I'm wanting to do. Do you think you could handle it?" And obviously, he took off running with it and did a better job than I ever did.
Right.
But so the first one we did was not episode 13; it was actually episode 11. And it was for a game called Chaos Drift.
Right, I remember that.
And I had done an interview via Messenger with Caleb, the director, the creator for it, the developer for it. And just as a quick update on that one, it's not finished yet, but he's still providing updates every few months or so. Still in development, still working on it, still looks good. And we're kind of just waiting to see. I back that one, and I'm eagerly waiting that one to come out because that's supposed to be the one that's like.
It's a throwback
in the vein of all the old school RPGs and stuff. Yep. And then the other one was the board game Transylvania Curses and Traders that I had done, and Kickstarter was super successful. They hit a couple of their stretch goals if I remember correctly, but you can actually go and buy their game now. It's totally released. I actually have a copy of it right there. You can't see this at home, but Brian's looking at it.
Oh, guys, okay, let me just describe it for you. It's glorious.
Yes, definitely. But if you want to check it out, you're curious, I'm not sure which episode that is, but it's in the notes, so if you look at our older episodes, it should tell you on there. You can get that on Amazon. You can go to their website. It's actually wibia.com, WIBIA, which stands for Wouldn't It Be Awesome If? Which I thought was kind of clever.
Because we say that all the time.
But that's the name of their company, and go check them out because the game's fun and it's available. So, we're going to do a quick gaming on a budget.
Back to you, JJ.
I was trying to think of what to say next right off the bat.
I saw you staring at me, and I was like, I cleared my throat, didn't I?
I just said what we're going to do. That was a really dumb segue. All right. Cool. And you're like, uh-huh.
Well, back to you. Gaming on a budget. So, look, here's a segue. We're all broke, but we love the game. But what does gaming take? Money.
Yep.
What can you not do with no money? You can't not game. My eyes are crossed. What?
What just happened?
I don't know.
There. I'm glad you guys
follow
that.
If you can email me in something about, this isn't live, is it? Anyway,
gaming on a budget. For those of you who might be a little short on cash, like we certainly are all the time. Bills. As soon as you grow up,
they don't tell you that.
It's ridiculous.
Well, they do, but you don't care as a kid.
But yeah, absolutely.
They're like, life sucks when you get older. Like, I just want to grow up.
Crap.
Yeah,
People
you're
are going to take
right.
care of me forever.
I get to stay up till. You remember that when you were a kid when your parents were like, you can't stay up all night and play video games, and you were like, out of spite, you're like, oh yeah. Well, when I grow up, I'm going to stay up all night and play video games. I can't do that if I wanted to now.
No.
Like, if I have to
yesterday I probably could have.
Okay, there are exceptions. But most of the time, like during the work week, I'm like, I got to go to bed. It's 10:30. Holy crap, I got to get up early and go to work.
Yeah.
And your parents are laughing at you, secretly like, oh, I told them.
Responsibilities are ridiculous.
Our responsibilities stink.
But anyway, so what we did was we, every now and then what we'll do is we'll do this segment and kind of go and find games that we know are good and tell you that they're out there, they're cheap, and they're available usually under $20-25.
Yeah.
And what we think is totally worth it. So, Brian, what's your pick for this time?
My pick is Dragon Age Origins, the Ultimate Edition. That includes the DLC campaign. If you haven't played it, it's $12.99. You can pick it up on Amazon. These are physical copies only. $12.99 for the physical copy on PC and $19.99 on the 360 and PS3. It is well worth the $20 price tag. The content you're getting
easily.
You're getting, with the expansion included, you're getting 200 plus hours of game. So if you haven't picked up or played a Dragon Age game, it's from BioWare. They also did Mass Effect, and it is fantastic.
This is the first one, so
this
it gives you a good introduction into the world, the lore, because the other games do refer, not necessarily back to the storyline directly, but they do refer to the world. Yeah. I played Dragon Age 1 and I absolutely adored it. It's a fantastic game, and if you like BioWare's way of telling stories, this is no different.
It's the same kind of it's probably not as in depth as Mass Effect as far as choices affecting the world as much, but it's still in there, and it's still very much the dialogue trees are there. The great voice acting is there. Set in a obviously not in the future, but in a high fantasy setting.
I would say Mass Effect, your choices affect like the outcome of the story as a whole, whereas the original Dragon Age will affect more or less the interactions that your party members have with each other and what kind of side quests and side things you're doing.
Correct.
It's very interesting, but I had an absolute blast with it.
Oh yeah.
So
it's
definitely worth it for $20 or under.
Yeah.
My pick, I mentioned this, that it came out like a month ago, and I really just could not say it again. Suikoden 3 is on PSN on your PS3. $10.
Yeah.
So worth it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Like if you played either one of the first two just from, our interviews with Ryan, or, you knew about it beforehand, what are you waiting for?
I've played and beaten 1 and 2.
You have. You should pick up 3 because it's super cheap.
I think I already have.
I hope so.
I think I picked it up right when it dropped.
And if you do end up picking it up, or if you already have picked it up, make sure you rate it on there too, because the more attention that they see to that it's getting, the more likely we are to get the others as well. So
we're talking about Konami here.
Well, yeah, but I mean, is it Konami that puts it on PSN?
Yeah, you might be right. Maybe PlayStation is the one who maybe says, "Hey, Konami, can we put this on PlayStation?"
Right. Yeah. So I mean, we just want
let's hope
access to this game, and the other two obviously, because they're not cheap, like just buying the physical copies, which a lot of these games, you have to buy them.
Limited print copies and stuff,
The older ones especially, yeah. So $10 for Suikoden 3. That's my personal favorite in the series.
Gotta do it.
It's a wonderful game, and the storytelling is great. It's got the Trinity Sight system where you see the same events from several different angles, and it's a real eye-opener. Yeah. It's very, very cool.
Plus, Trinity Sight system sounds cool, but it's very technically accurate. Like, it's 3 different versions of the same story seen through.
That's how it starts out, but you actually...
What?
I'm not going to say... No, spoilers.
Spoilers alert.
Let's just say it starts out with 3
Boom.
viewpoints.
So, yeah, okay.
So it's...
Intrigue.
Yeah, great game.
Good deal.
Definitely worth $10. Mark, what about you?
Well...
Oh, he's staying true to your...
Yeah, he really thinks that all my opinions are right.
He must agree with you on this.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, and it could be that, but let's give it a bit of the doubt to Mark, who's sitting right here, even though we already said he was in Vegas. But for you don't know, but here's what I'm trying.
You don't know. It's audio.
Here's my point. It's either that he really agrees with all my opinions I've ever said, or he just doesn't play games and doesn't know what to buy.
He's silent, so he must agree with that too.
Correct.
So either way,
Raising the roof.
All right,
all right, Mark.
Hey, Mark's gone. So
yeah, all hands.
What else are we gonna do other than rip on him?
Yeah, no, we don't. You know what? We don't have those. The what?
That's true.
Dop.
Yeah, maybe I can edit that in later.
Dop. Get
like
some
that.
dops in there.
Just throw it in randomly.
Yeah, dop.
All right. Because of that, when I say that, I mean because Mark is gone,
right.
We decided to have a little bit of fun, more so than we already have, obviously,
right.
at his expense. And we did a top 5 games that Mark should play.
Keeping in line with his whole narrative of he doesn't play games, we figured it would be a great idea to maybe put out in the open, for him to listen to and for you guys to. It's a good way for us to talk about these games. These are really good games that Mark hasn't played that he needs to play.
Definitely.
We got to get his gamer cred score up.
Absolutely. And instead of doing our own separate lists, we actually got together and made one
a joint list.
Top 5 list that has a little bit of Brian, a little bit of me, and then the top ones, obviously, we put on there together.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it.
Let's do it.
Top 5 games that Mark needs to play.
Needs to play. A mandate. Mark, if you don't want to play these games, say something now. All right. Even though he hasn't heard them yet. Nope.
So, and actually what's funny is normally I post on our little internal message board that we have just for us. I post the notes on there so we can all see each other's top 5s before the shows and stuff. I kept it hidden from him, and he was trying to get it out of me too. He's like, "Come on, just tell me, please." I'm like, "Nope."
The reason is he wants to prepare a rebuttal, but he's got to listen to the episode first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is news to Mark as well. So, Mark, hi.
Hi, Mark.
We're talking to you.
Hey, as you're listening to me, probably at work right now, maybe, or on lunch, and you're getting mad and you're doing your finger thing. No, then
he's probably sitting in his living room. With
with
General
Shanna,
So's chicken
with Shanna, and they got it on speaker.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so Mark, to you, Shanna, and your living room,
right,
and your General So's chicken.
Yeah, enjoy it.
The number 5 game that we feel that you should play is one of my picks, Tales of Symphonia. This is my favorite in the Tales series and the game that I started with in the series. You expressed interest in this when I talked about it a while ago, and I really think you should give it a shot. Basically, it's about 2 worlds that kind of feed off of each other. And so when one world is in decline as far as financially and resources and poverty-stricken and all that stuff, the other world is doing really well and rich, and people aren't going hungry, and wars aren't raging and all that crap. The heroes are basically trying to figure out, once they find out about the other side, they're trying to find out, well, we need to keep our world good,
right?
But we also don't, it's heartless for us to just ignore these other people who are, having to deal with the other side of the coin on this thing. What do we do? How do we fix that?
Right.
And that's kind of where it goes from there. It's a long game. GameCube, funny enough. But I know you express interest in it, and I think you should give it a shot, Mark.
Definitely.
So Tales of Symphonia, give it a shot. Number 5.
No. Honestly, it's one I want to play. I don't have any Tales games. I need to start collecting them.
You will be like, this is definitely a JRPG.
Yeah, I've kind of come to the conclusion that I get in the mood to play. Obviously, I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 right now, which is, I would say, a more tame Japanese game by all rights. But
wait till you get to the Hildebrandt quests.
Goofy.
You'll be like, this is Japanese.
There are still goofy quests. I came up to a quest in Final Fantasy 14. Speaking of Japanese type games, where I had to put suntan lotion on a man.
I had to give a guy a massage.
Pretty much what I was doing.
Yep.
So, but that's why I don't mind it. It's never going to be my favorite genre because it's too goofy. But I still get in the mood to play them. They're still great.
Yeah, you don't ignore it.
And I've told Tale, just because I don't think it's my favorite genre doesn't mean there aren't fantastic entries into that genre. So,
yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and Tales is one.
All right, what's the number 4?
Mark has played Batman Arkham Asylum,
correct,
the first iteration, but he hasn't played any of the other ones. And this is coming from a gamer who says, "Oh, I don't play any of the first games that Ubisoft comes out with." Well, I want to look. I've always wanted to say this to him. Like, Mark, that's almost true for any game ever. The first iteration in gaming, I've noticed, doesn't trend like movies do. Typically, with gaming, the sequels are always better because they have the engine that they created, and now they can expand on it. That's the hardest part of creating a new game, is creating it from scratch. Once you have it, you can then build off of it. So the fact that he's only played Arkham Asylum and hasn't played Arkham City, Arkham Origins, or now Arkham Knight, and they're only better. I enjoyed Arkham City better than Arkham Asylum, and I enjoyed Arkham Origins better than Arkham City. So they've gotten progressively better as they've released.
Right.
And
he liked Arkham Asylum.
I know. And
I was there with him when he played it.
And they're probably the best comic book superhero character games ever made.
Oh wow.
Honestly. There are great ones out there, but these by far capture the character of Batman better than any other like comic book games tried to capture a character.
Definitely.
So definitely play him, Mark. If you don't, I get it, you're Mark, but put him on your list to play sooner rather than later, because you're missing out.
For sure.
Yep.
All right, number 3 on the list, Lost Odyssey.
I own this game.
It is amazing. I have not beaten it, but I've played a really, really good chunk of it.
One of the few on Xbox 360.
Yes,
Yeah.
one of the very few. And in my opinion, probably the best, for me, the best game.
Right.
But I would say for a lot of people, it's probably going to be the best RPG
Right.
on Xbox 360. It is, if nothing else, play it for the writing and the side story content. There's like, you'll go to sleep in an inn and you'll get like the whole premise is that you are playing as an immortal. That is your main character, and you meet other immortals along the way, as well as some just regular humans, and you get actually different abilities based on what kind of person they are, which is kind of cool. But like the whole aspect of him being an immortal, he has forgotten a lot of his memories, and so when you stay the night at inns, sometimes every now and then you'll get like a story that'll come up and
Right.
tell you about an event that happened, in the past, tons of years before, that'll just kind of flash back to him, and it's all text. But the way they present it, it's hard to explain. You have to actually see it for yourself. Like, I mean, a couple of them like brought me to tears. They were just that good and that well written. And this is a Sakaguchi game too. So I mean, we're talking Final Fantasy VI and prior. I mean, dude,
He's got a track
get on
record.
it. And he does want to play it. I know he does.
Yeah.
But I really think this will be right up his alley.
Yep.
Absolutely. So that's number 3, man. Lost Odyssey, Xbox 360
Play it,
RPG.
dude. Play it.
Number 2.
Again, Mark's always said, I don't play the first game in the series, Ubisoft. He's Kingdom Hearts. Again, he's only played the first one. And in my opinion, and I know you've played them,
He didn't dislike Arkham Asylum, though. He liked that.
Right. He disliked the first Kingdom Hearts.
He did dislike
it,
the
but
first
only
Kingdom
because
Hearts,
of gameplay.
Right.
This is the same man who disliked The Last of Us because of the gameplay.
He did?
Yes. Yep. He said the story was awesome.
that was
but
his
he
complaint.
hated
That's right.
the controls.
Yeah.
So, but I challenge you, Mark. Your theory on Ubisoft is not just a Ubisoft problem. It's a all genre games problem. All the companies have problems with their first releases. Always, Uncharted's worst game is their first game. Mass Effect's worst game is their first game. It's play more of the series. It gets better as you play. The controls are way better in the second one, and even the some of the side ones like Recoded, Kingdom Hearts. What's the Birth by Sleep?
Right.
So. And they're fantastic. Like, if you grew up in our generation with Disney movies.
And 2 is worlds better than the first one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that alone is a huge jump.
Well, and if you bought he played it before then, but they released 1.5 HD, and they made the number one Kingdom Hearts 1 got re-upped with the controls of 2. So it was way better.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't played the new one.
The camera system, it's so much better.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yep.
I'll have to go back and play that too. But I think, because when he said he didn't like the first one, I was like, I just didn't feel like he was getting as good of a chance at appreciating the series for what it could be.
He was too stuck on the controls.
Yeah. And it's just like, dude, that series has a lot to offer.
Yes.
It really, really does. And honestly, it has a lot to offer everybody.
Yeah.
Because there is something for everybody in there. I wish there was a little bit more. The whole thing that it got advertised in the beginning was Disney meets Final Fantasy. I wish there was a little bit more Final Fantasy, but...
And to be truthful, I read that as Final Fantasy mixed with Disney, meaning Final Fantasy art. mixed
Right.
with, because they have cameos, obviously, but it's really just the Final Fantasy character art meets Disney melded together with music. Obviously, the Kingdom Hearts music is so phenomenal.
They have very, very, like, when I first heard Final Fantasy meets meets Disney, I was like, oh, dude, I'm gonna have a party with Mickey and
Right.
freaking Cloud.
Yeah.
That's gonna be sweet. No, it's like
New
the
characters.
shopkeeper is Sid.
Right.
That's
No,
about as far as it goes.
Right, and there are cameos, but the series is
It's developed into its own
yeah.
flavor,
The series is heralded for a good reason.
Definitely.
It's fantastic.
and the new one looks great.
Oh man,
3. So
I still have to play through I gotta get to I haven't played through Dream Drop Distance yet. Never played it.
I haven't either.
I haven't gotten there yet.
I have not either. Okay,
All right,
give it a shot, Mark.
come on, dude.
Play more.
Play
Do
more.
it.
Play more games.
Yep.
Play more games. Tell Shanna you're gonna go away for a while and just play games.
Number 1 is a game, my second favorite game of all time. You recently played it.
Fantastic game.
Xenogears. I bought it for him for his birthday, so he has it.
Right, and you and I both said that this is Mark's type of game. Like,
Yes.
when I was playing it, I even thought it like, oh, Mark would love this game. This has everything he likes in a game.
The battle system and the mechanics and stuff are okay.
Oh, right.
And he honestly might not even like him that much, which is fine and understandable, because I tried replaying it recently and the battle system was sluggish, and I was kind of like, all right, I just want to get to the cool parts that I remember and blah blah blah. But it's one of those games that just makes you think. And if you sit back and just kind of think about everything that's going on, it's just very, very thought-provoking and just a great story.
Right.
And you can tell by the way Mark writes and the way he talks that he is highly intelligent and
absolutely.
definitely smarter than I am.
Yeah.
So I think this would be right up his alley.
He's not a real dummy.
He's not a real dummy.
No.
The
length might be an issue for him,
Right,
buddy.
sure.
The length might be an issue for you, but it's well worth it. Suikoden 2 was pretty long. I mean, not nearly as long as Xenogears, but you play it on a handheld, man. Then you have time to watch. You can watch, whatever you're doing. You can sit there, eat your General So's, and play it. It's worth it's worth playing it, man. Like, just find some time and play it. We put it at number 1 because JJ and I, I got done beating it, we both talked about that. This is the kind of game I think you would actually really like if you actually played it.
Absolutely. I think this is one of those that would be something that he would want to talk about.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
Oh, the story for sure.
Yeah.
It breaks down. Obviously, we've talked about previous episode. We did a whole review on it and talked about it.
Yeah, I mean, he knew right off the bat. I was like, well, this is what it's about. Here's the thing. And he's like, well, it sounds kind of like niche. I was like, well, that's exactly what it is.
Exactly right. Yeah.
That's what it's modeled after.
Yeah.
And I think he would connect with it.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yep.
So, Mark, play these games.
Mark, play them.
Do it.
And you know what? Honestly, we put them in order for the ones we really want you to play the most. But you play them in any. Just pick one of these and play it. Make that your goal.
Absolutely. All right. A little bit of a shorter episode today, guys.
Yeah.
We just want to get back to playing 14. To be honest.
We're trying to get through this so we can go. No, I blame myself because I have really correct opinions and Mark knows that and he can't speak because of that. So
for sure.
I'm leaving this episode knowing that every time I talk to him, I'm right about everything, and everything he's argued with me about.
See, we got something out of it.
Yeah, we got something. I feel good.
As you should.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, play those games. Play more games,
and enjoy your time in Vegas. And buy me, if you win a lot of money, I want an Xbox One.
If you win a lot of money, I just want some of that money.
Or a Wii U. I'll let you decide which one you want to buy.
I just want money.
I mean, whatever. Just give me enough money to buy one of the systems. Whatever.
All right, there we go. So, Mark, we gave you some valuable info, so you bring us back money.
Money.
That's all we're asking.
I want money. If you came back negative, dude, I'm sorry, but that's unacceptable. Go back and get money.
Absolutely. Go back and get money. Oh, man. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Just ready to play some Final Fantasy 14.
Yep. Again, Leviathan server.
Leviathan.
Shoot us an email, frozennorthpodcast@gmail.com if you want to play, or at FN Gaming. Or FN Podcast. Wow.
We're at FN Podcast.
FN Podcast on Twitter.
Hang out with the hosts.
For sure. We're on there quite a bit. We have been lately, at least.
Yeah.
All right. With that, I think this is the Frozen North signing off for episode number 67. My name is JJ.
My name is Brian. Brian.
You said you were bad with words.
I'm going to words.
Oh, names you're good with.
Me speak not good.
Yes. There we go. And as always, keep on gaming.
Our theme song was made available through the Creative Commons Attribution license by Ziphoid. The song title is Radical Fanfare.